So I guess what's the latest you can tell us in regards to this NCAA investigation? And
well, same as I told you last week, we're going to go on coaching our team, until we hear from the NCAA. We've cooperated fully. It's out of our hands right now, and as soon as we hear from them, we'll release the information to you, and we'll go from there.
Have you decided on your depth chart as of yet?
Well, we're still working on it. We have not finalized it yet, and again, we have to coordinate with Maryland so that we. Again, the unwritten rule for programs and coaches is release it to each other first and then coordinate to the media. So Chris Freet will be coordinating that with Maryland, and hopefully we'll get that done. I know there's an ACC policy that I think mandates it be done by Tuesday. If we get it, if we both release it sooner, then we'll do so.
Alvin and Tosh had started, so I apologize. Do you have a plan A, B, C, D, E going right now? Or?
All of the above. No, again, we're just coaching the team. We're just we're trying to move the team forward. We'll make sure we practice enough guys because we really don't know what the future brings, and hopefully we'll find out pretty quickly here in the near future. If there are any penalties or suspensions, and we'll adjust accordingly.
Doesn't it kind of stand to reason though? Would decisions be made more on the immediacy first before figuring out if a player needs to miss multiple games? I mean, are you looking at it in those terms? Or
no, we're just looking at it. Number one, we've all evaluated them in training camp, so that's the first thing is make sure we communicate to every player where they stand and obviously where they are coming out of training camp. And then the next thing would be the Maryland game. We'll see where that's at. Again, anything else above and beyond that is speculation, and any projections or anything like that is it's all it is just speculation, and I don't want to get into that.
Coach, how do you prepare for anything that could happen without making this a distraction for your team? How have you balanced that?
Well, I think if you continue to keep it in the context of this building, the coaches weren't here, 90% of the players weren't here, so everybody else we're going about our business, and so obviously some of the players that are alleged to have done something are guys that have played a lot of football for us. So obviously there's going to be some adjustments if there are suspensions, but other than that, we're just moving forward. And the kids have been great in terms of that.
How have any or all of the players in question been declared ineligible by the university?
Again, by rule, I believe that's what has to happen. But again, I'm not going to comment on the university right now or the NCAA. It's an ongoing process right now, and our job is to cooperate fully and not to like I said, not to speculate on anything.
So the kids that are in question, are they practicing today?
Yes.
So the NCAA wouldn't do anything first, it'd be you guys?
I think that's how it is. Again, I don't want to misspeak. Again, that's the athletic director and the president, and again, I follow suit based on what the rules and what compliance say.
How much have you actually addressed this with the team? I mean, did you have one talk where you said?
Yeah, just to tell them what they were hearing outside, just to confirm that there was an investigation, and that like anything else, we don't speculate. We don't have opinions in the media or anything like that. We just we keep it in house and move forward.
Coach, the first day of classes happened. Has there been any update on the status of those clearinghouse guys?
No.
Anyone new on the roster?
Again, no. Once we receive that, we'll get that to you. And again, I just ask you guys trust that. If we get that information, we'll release it to you, and then we'll go from there.
Is there a deadline when they have to be in class?
I don't know the deadline, but there is a deadline for sure.
Chantrell, what do you expect in terms of how long he'll be out?
Again, I don't know. Everything's positive right now. In terms of back injuries, what does that mean? Again, we're optimistic, but we're being cautious with it. And again, we're talking about a young man that has a really positive future and a bright future. So we want to just make sure we're prudent with it. And we really won't know anything for 3 or 4 weeks probably.
What kind of things is he doing right now?
He's doing great.
I mean, what kind of stuff is
he's doing a lot of things pain-free. I mean, he can get into his stance. He's going to start having a little bit more aggressive rehab. So I think he's moving out of the recovery phase and into the rehabilitation phase.
Now, what does this whole situation, the NCAA investigation, mean possibly for the some of the younger players, a freshman Chicolo.
Again, I don't know. Anybody that's moving on to speculating or projecting right now is just wrong. I mean, we have no idea, and we're in the middle of it, and we have no idea, you know, what the findings are or where we're going with it. So, again, as I said, this whole investigation, you know, 90% of our team and our staff weren't here, so it's hard for us to go backwards.
I guess
since the scrimmage, I guess, how encouraged were you with what you saw on offense and defense in the
Well,
scrimmage?
very encouraged. You know, everybody, you know, got some reps. There were some guys that we pulled after about 20 or 25 reps. Lamar Miller, some key players, you know, that obviously have played a lot of football. Sean Spence, Ray, guys like that. So, but I was very encouraged by it. Again, I thought we had a good tempo, we had good energy. Really excited about the quarterback play. I thought we ran the ball better in scrimmage 2 than we did in scrimmage 1. A lot of guys touched the ball on offense. We learned a lot about our defense, and most particularly individual players. And I thought, you know, the split squad format was good for us because it got us, you know, going in and out of the game, going from nickel to regular, from regular to goal line, from goal line to field goal block, or whatever the case may be. So I thought that was good.
How pleasant was the lack of turnovers in those scrimmages and so far in camp?
Again, it's been good, Beast. I mean, it's just been you know, we just got to continue to take good care of the ball. You know, the flip side of that is we need to be more aggressive on the ball on defense. You know, we need to get the ball away a little bit more. So we'll work both those angles this week.
Al, when the administration does tell you about any player, do you expect it to come case by case? Do you expect that in one fell swoop?
I would hope it would be all together. But again, that's really not my job. Is to coach out here in the next 10 minutes. You know, again, when they say, "Hey, coach, this is where we're at, and this is what the findings are," we'll all sit down and again, we would like to release everything to you as soon as we get it.
Does that include the depth chart? We weren't here for that. Are you going to release it?
No, we just got to make sure. No, we're not releasing it today. And again, we're still finalizing some things, but at the same time, it's really important that we coordinate with Maryland and we release it at the same time to each other first and then to the media. So we haven't done that. I know the ACC calls for it to be done by Tuesday. Again, I was not aware that the ACC, not aware of the totality of the policy, in terms of guys that are injured, you got a list and all that. So I was aware of it, but not when it had to be done and all those things. So
as far as you understand, Al, you're saying that the ACC mandates that you release it to Maryland before you release it to anybody else?
No. All I'm saying is the ACC has a policy. Again, I'm not even that familiar with it, that you have to release who's playing, who's doubtful, all those things. But all I'm saying is that since I've been in this business, it's always been a courtesy to release it to the opponent before you release it to the media.
This is the time of year you would be looking at guys anyway. How much has this investigation and the uncertainty caused you to take longer looks at people you might not have been looking at?
Again, we're just trying to improve our team. So there's not one player out here that doesn't have a concentration card today that we're not trying to improve their game or move them forward. So I think, again, there might be more turns or more opportunities because of that, but other than that, it's business as usual for us.
Do you think some of them are ready to step up?
Well, they have
That's
to
what
be.
I meant before,
Yeah, they
like
have to
Chick
be.
and some of those other kids.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, but I told you back in January, there's a bunch of them that were going to have to play anyway, and thank goodness that they are what we thought they are. A lot of them are tough. A lot of them are smart. A lot of them are in great condition, which gave them an opportunity.
Two more per hour, we'll move to players. How disruptive is this out for you guys as coaches to, you're 12 days away from the opener?
Yeah, it's not. Again, to me, it's a mindset. If you want to worry about that stuff, you can worry about it. If you want to create excuses, you can create excuses. It's no different than having guys injured. You can sit around and talk about the injury, or you can do something about it. And my mindset has always been to move forward. So it doesn't come into our building, and it's not going to. We're just going to continue to move forward, and our mentality is always next man in. Next man in. So it's going to be some opportunities for some
Guys, we're going to roll.
Is all this waiting on the depth chart somewhat overstated anyway? Just that, you could change the 60-man really up until wheels up.
That's exactly right. That's the bottom line. There's going to be a lot of competition, and again, we have a lot of competition still between the 2s and the 3s. And a lot of that's going to come down to how they perform in special teams over the next 4 days. Guys, I got to go.
Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate it.